This video is all about how to start a blog in 2022. So I started my blog when I was 19 years old, 4 years ago, which is crazy. And it is now a 7-figure-a-year business. There's a team of 6 of us that now work with me on it, and it has really turned into a full-on business. I feel like I say it in every video, but it really is. It's like almost grown into be more than a blog, but it started as a traditional blog. It still is a blog, and I've learned so much over the past 4 years on just how to start a blog and what I would do the same as when I originally started versus what I would do different. I mean, so much changes in 4 years on the internet. So a lot of the things that I did, I would not do anymore, but then there are the few things that I was like, okay, you did, that was smart of you, and I still recommend. So I'm gonna give you a little of, not a little, I'm gonna give you my major top tips on how to start a blog that makes money in 2022. And then after I give you those tips, I'm gonna give you like the step-by-steps on how I would actually go about starting a blog personally, and just some tidbits from my experience. Tip number 1 has to do with when you should actually go and publish your blog. And for some reason, this has come up a lot this year. Like, I don't know why this year it's been asked so many more times than last year or the year before. I'm just getting a ton of DMs about it. And then my courses have a Facebook group, so maybe that's where I'm seeing it. But anyways, it is when you should actually go and publish your blog. So a lot of people think that they need to have like a certain number of blog posts written before publishing their website, or need it looking perfect. And no, you do not. Get it published as soon as possible. The chances are, unless you already have a following from another platform or something, no one is gonna be looking at your blog for the first month besides maybe your mom or someone that you send the direct link to. You wanna get it up as soon as possible because you want Google to be able to scan it, and the longer you have for Google to be able to figure out what your website is, the better. So this kind of is involved with SEO, which I had no idea what SEO was when I first started my blog, and now my entire life is run by SEO. So as you start your blog and as you grow into it and figure out more and more things, you'll learn a lot more about SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. And basically on your website, you need to do every single thing that you possibly can to let Google know what your topic or your niche is about. I have a blogging course. This is really quick. Little plug. I have a blogging course, Perfecting Blogging, and that goes over all of my SEO strategies and exactly how I do it. You want to rank on Google because if you search something in Google, then you want your post to come up first because obviously you'll get the most clicks. So like, for example, if I was to search how long to cook a chicken breast in the oven for, okay? You know, that's like anything you search in Google, you have the websites that come up under that. You want your website to rank first. If you just go and write a blog post, it's not just gonna happen. You have to do strategic things. So that's why I say to publish your website right away, because like no one is going to be looking at it. It's gonna take a while for you to start generating views. So the sooner you can get it up, the better. This is another tip that I have in there. Well, actually I just came up with this in my mind, but it has to do with that first tip is it does not have to be perfect. You are going to learn so much over that first year of blogging. I mean, if you went back and looked at my old posts, like my first blog posts, I had no idea what I was doing. I was learning and just trying to figure it out. So you're gonna constantly be editing your website that first year or two. We're still editing our website every month to like with different things that we're learning. So just get it out there. Like, it's not gonna be perfect and it shouldn't be perfect. And the people that wait for it to look perfect are usually the ones that end up giving up because that just becomes like really stressful. The second tip I have for you is how many blog posts should you be posting every single week? And personally, I would recommend posting 2 blog posts a week. That can be really hard. Like, blog posts take a long time to write if you're doing them correctly. And so if you don't have enough time to write 2 blog posts a week, it is more important just to be consistent with it. So if you can get 1 blog post out a week, that is a whole lot better than 1 week doing 3 blog posts and then not doing anything for 3 weeks, and then the next week doing 1 blog post, and then the next week skipping, and then, you know what I mean? Like, it is so much better to be consistent about it. So when I first started, for that first year, I set a goal for myself to write a blog post or to have 2 blog posts go live every single week. And that worked out really, really well for me. I set up a schedule. I'm a big time blocker, so I time blocked it out with like my college classes, and I was working to like fit it in there. I mean, that worked out for me. But if you don't have that amount of time, or if you have kids and a full-time job, and like we're all busy, so if you have something else, just be consistent with what you're doing. So if you can do it twice a week, do that. If you can do it once a week, do that. But make sure every week you are doing it that twice a week or that once a week. Well, you have to be consistent with it. My third tip is something that we focused on personally a ton in 2020 or 2021, and was something that we had to focus on and was like a huge scare in the blogging world. And that is to get your eggs in different baskets. And this is something that I would probably recommend focusing on like when you're 6 months into your blog, or even like closer to a year into your blog. I strongly believe that when you start your website, you should get your website running, get blog posts up, and get them on Pinterest. With social medias and with anything on the internet, and with any business, no matter what it is, whether it's a blog or any traditional type of business, you can have things happen that you do not have control over. For example, Pinterest, still love it. Best social media for bloggers, I personally believe. They went through a huge algorithm change. And in that algorithm change, they just changed everything. So we had to change our entire strategy, which, by the way, our strategy in our course Perfecting Pinterest is fully updated, and it is being super successful. We actually had our highest month ever view-wise on Pinterest last month, which was incredible. But we had to change so much, and like even back in 2015, luckily this didn't affect me, or maybe it was 2016, I can't really remember because I wasn't in it yet, but Facebook, a ton of bloggers were getting like so much traffic from Facebook, and then Facebook went and basically just stopped showing all their things. So the bloggers that were fully focused on Facebook ended up literally ruining their business, and they were over because they didn't do that. So for us this year, we personally put a huge focus on making sure that we equally had our eggs in different baskets, whether it's SEO, Pinterest, other social medias, our own products, just different stuff like that. So like I said, that's a little advanced. So when you're first starting, just get your blog up and get your Pinterest started. You don't really have to worry about the other things, but as you go further along, just have it in the back of your mind that you do need to eventually start working on the other things, because it's super important and crucial to actually like having a sustainable business. All right, I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm gonna keep moving this faster, but tip number 4, I believe, is TikTok. Wow, TikTok has taken the world by storm. I know for me, I can be on TikTok for literally hours and it will seem like I was on it for 20 minutes. Like, I think it is a dangerous platform, but as bloggers and as someone starting a blog, or even like any social media, whether you're starting YouTube and Instagram, no matter what you're doing, TikTok is the place to grow on. I just started my TikTok a few months ago and I'm already at 100,000 followers. And I know TikTok followers are like kind of weird and different than other platforms, so maybe it doesn't mean as much, but it has been incredible just to see how fast your content can grow on there, like versus Instagram. When I say Instagram is hard to grow on, Instagram is nearly impossible to grow on. I think if you've tried, you understand what I'm saying, but TikTok is incredible. So we're still trying to figure out our strategy as a blogger on TikTok, but I just think someone starting a new blog that you should definitely experiment with TikTok a little bit. And I know I feel like I'm being I can't fully speak for, like, I just know for us, Pinterest, and for a ton of other bloggers, Pinterest is the fastest way to get people to your website. TikTok, I think, is the fastest way to grow. However, to get people from TikTok to your website, like, I feel like that's another story. But I just think of someone going on the internet and starting a space on the internet, you need to have that in the back of your mind. And we're still experimenting. So once we kind of figure out more, like, I figured out how to get views on my video and what videos and what type of videos do the best. I'm still experimenting. I'm a tester through and through. I test everything out. So I'm kind of figuring that out. What I still haven't been able to figure out, which is the Instagram issue, is how to get people from TikTok to my website. On Pinterest, you can easily get people from your pin to your website. But like I said, TikTok, you can just grow so insanely fast on that. Have TikTok in the back of your mind. My next tip is something that is so helpful for me. Maybe this is a personality thing, or I don't know, but our entire team does it and it's so motivating and just helps us. But have a goal planning session and write out a 1-year plan. If you're just starting your blog, just get a 1-year plan together on what you want to accomplish this year, how long it's going to take you, your content calendar, get a content calendar together of the different blog posts you want to write, how many you think you can get done. The first year, you're really going to be reorganizing things as you like kind of figure things out, how long different things take you. But having a goal planning session is just such a great motivator and something that I add into my calendar often because it can completely change what I'm doing and just really help me get more energized. Next tip is to research, and test. And so obviously you're already researching since you are on YouTube and you're searching how to start a blog in 2022. Keep researching. Like, still to this day, Google and YouTube are my best friends. Whenever I have a question about anything, I'm constantly Googling it. I take course after course. Blogging courses are so huge. I have a video where I go over all the blogging courses that I personally taken. I'll link it in the description. And then I have 2 blogging courses, Perfecting Blogging, which is like all about how to actually set up your blog and my SEO strategies. And then I have Perfecting Pinterest, which is my Pinterest strategy. So those are basically the courses that I wish I would have taken when I first started my blog. But I do have all the list of the courses that I personally taken, my honest opinion of them. I am a stickler for courses. I think that courses are the reason that I was able to grow so fast. This is just a repetitive thing that I've said in my other videos because I fully just believe in it and stand behind this so fast, I stand behind it so strongly. But blogging is really hard just to figure out everything and like figure out how to do things. And so what I did is I made the decision when I was first starting my blog. I babysat so much to save money for these things because I was broke. I was paying for college on my own, and I would like pick up random babysitting nights, and then I would put my money towards courses, and whatever I was trying to learn at that time, I would take a course on. So I've taken a course on email marketing, on Pinterest, on setting up, like there's so many things, email lists, there's so many things that I've taken courses on, and it has just skyrocketed my business because instead of me taking months and months and months to figure something out, I've been able to take a course from a blogger who is extremely successful in it and then implement their strategies on my own blog, and it just really sped up the process. So we're lucky that we're in a time where if you don't have the money to spend on courses, YouTube is incredible. Like, you can get so much information from YouTube. My tip number 4 is to kind of, or I don't even know what number we're at, but is to figure out what your goal is or what your angle is for your blog. So is your goal to make money as fast as possible? Is your goal to grow a following? There's a lot of different strategies for that. If you're looking to grow a following, don't start a blog and start a TikTok instead. Like, that's the way to do that. And then once you get a following on TikTok, then start a blog. If you're looking to make money as soon as possible, start a blog, get your things on Pinterest, get as many readers as possible to your website, and get ads established. You can get ads on your website. That's probably the fastest way that you'll be able to make money, and then you can keep growing it and then start working with brands or start doing your own products or whatever you want to do. But there's a lot of different, like, you kind of have to know what you want to do. Like, for me, I knew that I was like I said, I was paying for college on my own, so I had to figure out, I needed to make money. Like, I needed to make money, and I also was like very strategic about what I needed because I knew if I could make money, I'd have time, and then because I was in college, so I had some time where I could figure it out, and then once I was making money, then I could grow the following. But if you're looking to grow a following as soon as possible, then get on TikTok. Literally, TikTok is where you should be, and grow a following there. For me, like I said, I was trying to make money, so I went the traditional blog route. I started my blog. I only had a blog on Pinterest for 3 years, did not have an Instagram, did not have a YouTube, did not have a TikTok, did not have anything besides a blog and a Pinterest. And in those 3 years, I just started my Instagram, in March of 2020. So it's only been a year and a half since I've had my Instagram. And when I started my Instagram, I was already making 18 grand a month on my blog. Okay, so like, That was literally with just a blog and Pinterest. But I knew that I didn't have loyal readers at that point because it's hard to grow a connection with just like a Pinterest and a blog. So that's why I then did expand to Instagram, because that's where you can really grow a connection with people. And like now I feel like I have such a strong community, and people know people that follow me know who I am and know my personality and stuff, where I didn't have that. But when I started, you know, like I said, I was just wanting to make money, and then I knew I could get to that point eventually where I'd have that connection, and now it's like turned into a brand. So it's just a strategy again, just kind of like figure out what is important to you and then take that route. All right, I know that was kind of long, but I feel like those are really important and things that you need to know when starting your website. But now let's get into the actual steps that I recommend doing. These are like super important because God, I'm like a broken record with the strategy thing, but you do have to be strategic about how you do it. So number one, I have my notes in front of me, but number one, start a self-hosted WordPress blog. If you want to make money on your website, it is so crucial that you start a self-hosted WordPress blog. So basically what that means in the simplest terms as possible is that you don't want to rent a space, you want to own a space. So when you go to Wix or Squarespace, or if I was to do like bysophialee.blogspot.com, I am renting that space. You want to own your space, and this is what 99% of big bloggers use. Like this is basically standard. Even when you go and apply to affiliates, and affiliates is like how you make money in the future, or brand deals or whatever, they'll be like, are you a self-hosted blog? Is your blog on WordPress? They'll ask you these things, and let me tell you, it's a pain in the butt to switch over. I originally started on blogspot.com, and to switch it over, it was a disaster. So get started on a self-hosted WordPress blog. I personally was broke, and so I started with Bluehost, which is your host. I have a whole entire blog post on like step by step exactly what you do. It's super easy to follow, and how I quickly explain what like Bluehost is just the cheapest one. They're so nice. Their customer service is amazing. And so like I always describe Bluehost as like the Walmart version, and then like there's Target, so you could go a little higher step up. Then there is like a Nordstrom. But as you start in the beginning, just get Bluehost, and I would just even recommend getting like the cheapest one. So you can get it for $36. Don't spend money on the extras. Like it's just not worth it. Make sure that you actually stick with it before doing anything else. So that's what I did. I had a great experience. That's what I recommend today. I'm always getting messages about how amazing other people's experiences are. So anyways, that is what I recommend for that. Step number two is get a website theme. So a website theme is what your website is going to look like. Unless you are a website designer, chances are just do not even try to design your own website. I've tried and it looked horrible. And so the easiest way to get a professional looking website is to get a WordPress theme. You can get them all different places. I had a WordPress theme from 17th Avenue Design, and I'll link them also in the description. They were amazing. Their themes are so cute and like feminine. If you want like a more feminine, trendy looking theme, go there. If you go on Etsy, you can literally search WordPress themes, and they have so many different options. You can get them as cheap as like $5. They obviously go up, like some of them are $200, some of them are $50, some of them are $20. There's so many different price ranges that you can find for your budget. And you really want to make sure that you do this, because people are going to judge you by how your website looks, and you can clearly tell when someone tries to design their own website, and it's just the fastest way to get that professional look. So step one, get yourself a self-hosted WordPress website. Step two is get yourself a WordPress theme. Step number three is if you have any money to invest in a course, I would highly recommend it. You can find courses that are really inexpensive, and you can find courses that are really, really expensive. So this is just based on what your budget is. I've already gone through that whole thing, so I don't even feel like I need to hit on this anymore. But courses can skyrocket your business. Just make sure they're reliable courses. Like read a ton of reviews, research it. If you're gonna spend money on something, you wanna make sure that it is good. But like I said, courses can be incredible for growing your website as fast as possible. Step number four is start writing blog posts ASAP and get them on Pinterest ASAP. Another thing that I've gone through a million times in this video, so don't feel like I need to hit on it anymore, but that is so important. Don't overly think about it. Don't spend 5 hours writing your about page, or even like, I know some people that spend like 2 days writing their about page. Nope, a waste of time. You have to think about your ROI. That first year, and still to this day, I think about ROI so much, return on investment. And if it didn't make me money that first year, I was not gonna spend time on it. So that's just something to consider, a hot take. But get the blog posts written. They do not have to be perfect. You can re-edit them. We re-edit our blog posts literally every single day. It's like one of our things that we add into our weekly tasks to make them better and make them more perfect. They're never perfect, but make them as good as possible, and then get them on Pinterest. Pinterest will be your best friend. Sometimes your enemy, but most of the time it'll be your best friend. And then this kind of follows that one too, but I feel like I should just read what I wrote down because it sounds pretty good. But I would recommend not focusing on anything else besides writing posts and getting them on Pinterest or TikTok, if you think that's a better strategy for what your angle is, for 6 months. After that 6 months, that's when you can start strategizing about the different eggs in your baskets or different strategies that you want to do to grow your blog. But seriously, so many people give up on their blogs. Like, it is crazy. People have a fantasy in their head about how amazing blogging is and how easy it is to earn money on your blog and how great of a life it is. But think about how many people you know that have started a blog and have given it up. It is really hard. It is super overwhelming. There's so many things that you are trying to do and focus on. And so just to keep your life as easy as possible, just stick with writing blog posts and getting them on Pinterest, and don't think about anything else for 6 months. Just figure that out, and that will lead you to other things after that 6 months. So those are my top tips for how to start a blog in 2022. I have so many blogging videos. Those are so helpful. Go and watch those on my website. If you go to bysophialee.com/blogging, I have so many different blog posts just about things that are really helpful. I have free guides, and use YouTube. Like I said, use YouTube. There's just so many free resources that you can find. But I hope that was really helpful. I believe that blogging, I mean, obviously, blogging is huge right now. Blogging is the future. You could do yourself so good with starting a blog. I am so thankful that I started mine in 2017 when I did, because now 4 years later, I am 24. I have a full-on business, and it's incredible. So I'm so thankful, but you can do the same thing. It just takes a lot of hard work, and it's not as fun as people think. It is super fun, but it's like that initial starting of it can be really difficult. So just stick through with it, and it really is the best. So I hope that was super helpful, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. I post blogging videos all the time, and I hope you have a great day.